Hey guys, it's Naushin and welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to talk about this new Huda Beauty textured eyeshadow palette in Rose Gold edition. So this is her first limited edition palette. She released it 4 or 5 days back in her website and it got sold out within 2 hours. But the good thing is she's probably gonna restock it a couple more times. Otherwise I wouldn't show this and would make a whole video on this because there is no point of showing you guys the eyeshadow palette that you cannot get your hands on. So that's a good thing. Keep an eye on her website and she will probably announce that in her Instagram profile as well when she will restock. So she released it, as I have mentioned, 4 or 5 days back, and I must say the delivery was pretty fast. She ships it from Dubai and I got it in my hand within 5 days, and in between I had Saturday and Sunday, so if you exclude that, within 3 days. I have earlier also ordered a couple of eyelashes from her website that also came within 3 days. So excellent shipping, excellent delivery service. Even the domestic shipping, I don't get them so fast. So thumbs up for the shipping and delivery. Though the site was a bit down when she released it, that was probably for the high traffic, but that was okay for me. Anyways, the actual palette retails for $65. So the price tag is a bit steep, but you are getting 18 eyeshadows and a couple of them are foil finished. So that kind of justifies the price. And the palette comes in a sleeve. The outer packaging here, she has the signature Huda Beauty eyes like her eyelashes. I find the packaging pretty elegant. She has the rose gold edition embossed here. Overall packaging looks really elegant. And the actual palette, it has a transparent cover. I don't mind that it doesn't have any mirror and it has this transparent cover because you can see all the shadows inside. I like the packaging and it is pretty sleek. So quantity wise, you are getting 18 eyeshadows, but I couldn't find anywhere in the sleeve or at the back of the palette the what is the actual size of the individual pans. The only thing I could find is the net weight is 18 gram, but that probably includes the palette itself. Just for the comparison, I have my modern Renaissance palette here. As you can see, the size of the pan looks pretty similar, and this one has 0.07 gram in each pan. So we can safely assume that they are pretty similar to this palette. So yeah, this will probably be a little less than 1 gram on each pan. And this palette has 7 foiled eyeshadows. I would say this one, I wouldn't categorize it in the foil finish. I would say this one has more satin finish, and it has 10 matte eyeshadows. So if you compare the foiled eyeshadows with the other foiled eyeshadows in the market, like the Makeup Geek or Stila foiled eyeshadows, they are individually, retailing for at least $10. So these foiled eyeshadows itself kind of justifies the price. Though the weight is not same when you are getting them individually, obviously you are getting more product. But who needs foiled eyeshadows in a bigger jar? I don't mind them to be in this palette and be a little bit cheaper priced. So here in the bottom row, they have the transition shades. Though when you first look at this palette, your eyes will obviously go to the first top row because it has all the shimmery foil shade. But in my opinion, they did an amazing job with the bottom row because she has included almost all the transition shades you need for any skin tone. This is kind of unique in my opinion because I have tons of palettes and I find it challenging. You will probably get 1 or 2 transition shade in each palette. So sometimes it is challenging. You need to grab another palette for your transition shades. So I find it pretty unique that all kind of transition shades here. No matter what skin tone you have, you will find one transition shade for you. And this matte black shade here, it completes the palette, though this is probably not the most intense one that you will find. Makeup Geek Corrupt is the most intense one that I probably own, but this matte black blends perfectly. And sometimes honestly I prefer my matte black to be a little bit toned down. In that way you can work with it better. Otherwise you will have fallout and it doesn't blend properly, but this matte black works perfectly. I have used it today on my eyes and I haven't found any issue with the black. I have used quite a few matte eyeshadows on my eyes today and I swatched all of them, and I must say all the matte eyeshadows here, they are of very good quality. They're pretty consistent in texture, pretty creamy, and when you blend them on your eyes you will not find any problem. So the pigmentation is there. If I need to be very picky, I would say only this shade, the pink one, Flamingo. It is a little bit dry when you swatch it, but when you try to blend it, it blends perfectly. So the foiled eyeshadows here in this palette, they have kind of a unique texture. They have kind of like a wet, moussey kind of texture. I think that's why they have recommended to use your finger to apply those shadows. Otherwise, I think if you just use your brush, you might not get the pigmentation. So especially these two eyeshadows, Rose Gold and Trust Fund, I found them very wet. So you have to apply them with your finger. I have created this look with all the eyeshadows from here, as I have mentioned. So I'll include the clip and you will see me using them with my finger. I definitely agree with that, because I can totally feel that if you use your brush, you might not get the pigmentation, because since they have kind of a moussey texture, and this kind of eyeshadows work best when you apply them with your finger. And the eyeshadow combination in this palette is just perfect in my opinion. You have your foiled eyeshadows, you have the matte here, the transition shade, the matte black, highlighter. You are getting everything in this palette. I think that is everything that you need to complete the look. So I have been loving this palette, even though I have got it just yesterday, but I have been loving this palette. Today I have used quite a few of them to create this look. So I have used the shade Sandalwood on my crease. Then I have used henna to deepen the crease a bit. Then with my finger, as you can see, I have used Angelic on the inner half of my lid. And then I have used Trust Fund on the outer half. In the outer third, I have used Maneater and Bossy. I mixed them together. And at the end, I have used a little bit of black to add a little bit of definition there. I really like how all these shadows applies. So I don't have any complaint with this palette. I would highly recommend this palette, guys. Even though it is a little bit pricey, it is 65 bucks, but you are getting 18 eyeshadows. And as I have mentioned, you are getting quite a few foiled eyeshadows, which are naturally a bit pricier than the matte or regular eyeshadows. So that justifies the palette, and I really like that she included all the 18 eyeshadows, but she kept the palette pretty sleek and, you know, elegant looking. I'm pretty impressed with this palette. So if you want to splurge on a good palette, then you can definitely check this palette out. I really hope that you have enjoyed this video, guys. I'll put up the swatches at the end of this video, and if you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit the thumbs up button, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye bye, beauties.